Hello everybody. So instead of doing what I normally do, which is tag you in the post and then write down everything that I interpret the card to mean for you and then just put it into the post, I decided this time I should make a video. So this is the first time I'm doing it. Once again, just a clear reminder, I don't claim to be psychic. I just read the cards and try to interpret them in how I feel the universe wants me to interpret them, and that's about it. And hopefully it can provide you with a little bit of insight into the ongoings of your life. So the first ones we have are the ones who drew the first card. And so those of you who drew the first card, you drew the 10 of Cups. So this really excites me actually. The 10 of Cups is a wonderful and super positive card. The 10 of Cups I like to refer to as the wish card. And the reason why I refer to it as the wish card, because to me it's like all of your dreams are coming true, right? So the 10 of Cups tells me that you're in a really good place right now. You have achieved a lot and you've worked really hard to achieve what you've gotten, and you should celebrate it and you should sit there in celebration. The 10 of Cups often refers to a happy family, a happy home life. You know, it's just happiness and harmony is really what the 10 of Cups comes down to. The cups represents water, and so the element of water is often associated with emotions, and it's associated with love and femininity and all of those wonderful things. And that's exactly what this 10 of Cups is telling me, is it's all about love, and you are just in a really great place right now. So my advice to you is enjoy it. Take it in, appreciate it. You know, you have worked so hard to be in this positive position, and this is your time to shine. This is your time to celebrate, right? Things are going well. You know, if you have been worried that things aren't going well, the universe is telling me things are going good for you. And even if it doesn't feel like things are going good for you right now, this card makes that promise that things will become good for you. So hold out hope, hold out that positivity. Everything is going to be all right. The 10 of Cups is there. That energy is there telling you all good things are coming to you. I mean, the 10 of Cups, if you can see, it's 10 cups and a family and a rainbow. And that rainbow often means, you know, biblically speaking, the rainbow is that sign that everything's all right, right? So the rainbow shows up after a storm. So even if you've weathered a storm or you're in the process of weathering a storm, that storm will soon end and harmony will be there for you. Harmony is coming to your life. So celebrate it, enjoy it. You're in a great place. The next card that we drew was for a card number 2, and that card is the Knight of Cups. So this is really interesting because I drew this earlier this week and I posted about it, the Knight of Cups. So the great thing about the Knight of Cups is, once again, cups representing water and cups representing emotions and intuition and spirituality and all of those wonderful things, and the Knight representing action, right? So knights are usually, in regards to the tarot, they're the ones who are charging into battle. They are the ones who make action. And so when the Knight of Cups arrives, what this is telling me is this talks about spiritual action, or action in love, or action in regards to emotions. You know, the Knight of Cups is a really interesting man because in regards to love, the Knight of Cups is that person that everybody is drawn to. They have that electric personality, and you know what this tells me is you are the Knight of Cups. So you are this individual that people tend to be drawn to. So the Knight of Cups has shown up just to remind you that, you know what, you're a great person and that you have that energy that people are attached to, and you should hold on to it. The other wonderful thing about the Knight of Cups is the Knight of Cups, he is all about leading with his heart. And so often we have like the Knight of Swords who leads with his head, he's very logical, or the Knight of Wands who leads with his creativity. The Knight of Cups leads with his heart. So what this is telling me is that if there's something going on for you in your life that you have a decision to make, now is not necessarily the time for logic. Now is the time for you to think about, how does it feel? Sometimes it's okay that we follow our hearts, right? We don't always have to follow our heads. We don't always have to be logical. We can often be emotional in the decisions we make. Make sure that it feels right, because even if you think something's right, it doesn't feel right. And so the Knight of Cups has shown up to tell you, what? If it doesn't feel right, then it's not right. But if it feels right, then it's right. It's okay to lead with our heart sometimes. Not always, but it's okay. And in this situation, any decisions that you might be facing, this is the time for you to think, to go inside, meditate, and think to yourself, does this feel right to me? And if it feels right to you, then that's the right decision for you to make. In regards to love, if you are thinking about entering into a relationship or something like that, the Knight of Cups says, this is big love. If this represents a person in your life, it's big love. This is a great thing. It's positive. The Knight of Cups is a really gentle soul and a really creative soul. And the Knight of Cups just says, be positive. Go into it. Go into battle. Use your heart. Use your feelings to drive you this time. That's okay. So the last card that we drew was the Queen of Swords. So this is really interesting because everybody else drew the more emotional cards this time around, but this time you picked the card of logic, right? So swords is represented by the element of air, and swords often represents logic, and it represents thinking and really considering our situation. And now with the Queen, what's interesting about the Queen is the Queen encompasses everything there is about the suit of swords. So the suit of swords really represents that journey to success, that journey of gaining knowledge and working hard and making the right decisions and so on and so forth. And that's what the Queen represents. So in regards to a person, the Queen represents somebody who's very logical. She is very, she's very kind. She's very logical. Everybody loves her. She's a very forgiving queen, but she didn't get to her position because she followed her hearts, like the Cups would tell you. She followed logic. And so the Queen tells you, when she arrives, she tells you that if you have a decision you're making, this is time for you to think about it from a logical perspective. Be logical, be methodical, follow your head. The Queen also represents the fact that you already know your answer, right? So often when a feminine figure shows up into a tarot reading, it also represents intuition. And the Queen of Swords is no different. The only difference is that maybe instead of going inside and meditating and looking to the universe for the answers, which the Empress might tell you, or the Empress might tell you, or the High Priestess might also tell you. High Priestess is all about intuition, right? And so the Queen of Swords tells you, what? You make this decision based off of your logic. What do you think? You're a smart person. You're a smart individual. You're a powerful person, and you know the right decision, right? It's not even about what feels right. It's about what you know. So in regards to representing a person, the Queen of Swords might represent somebody who makes those lists, who really puts all of their ducks in a row before they make a decision. They write out those pros and those cons. If you are faced with a decision right now, then the Queen of Swords tells you, what? This is the time for you to be methodical. This is the time for you to make out that list. Think of the pros and cons. Don't make a decision based purely off of your feelings. Don't make a decision this time based purely off of your gut. Make the decision based off of what the pros and cons are. What is the logical outcome for this situation? By thinking about the logical outcome, you will be able to come to the decision that you're looking for. So everybody, that was my interpretation of the cards today. Go ahead and feel free to leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate you letting me do this. And of course, love and light.